19 years, 7,000 days. That is how long it has been since Fernando Alonso last felt the weight of a World Championship trophy in his hands. In Formula 1, 19 years is not just a career, it is an eternity. Entire teams have risen and fallen, legends like Schumacher and Vettel have retired, and a new generation has taken over the grid. Yet Alonso remains. He is the grid's oldest gladiator, fighting against time, against physics, and mostly against his own bad luck with car choices. We have seen the heartbreak of 2010, the impossible drives of 2012, and the wasted years at McLaren Honda. But as the sun sets on the 2025 season, the narrative is shifting. The chaotic winds of Silverstone are whispering a new story. This isn't just about the L-Plan memes anymore. This is about the convergence of the greatest engineering mind in history, with the most adaptable driver the sport has ever seen. Adrian Newey has arrived at Aston Martin, and for the first time in his career, he isn't building a car for a young prodigy. He is building a weapon for an old master. The AMR26 is coming, and it might just be the most dangerous car on the 2026 grid. To understand why the AMR26 is Alonso's last hope, we have to analyze the DNA of an Adrian Newey car. Newey doesn't just build fast cars, he builds pointy cars. What does that mean? It means a car with an incredibly responsive front end. When you turn the wheel, the nose bites into the apex instantly. The trade-off is that the rear of the car often becomes unstable, loose, and difficult to control. This specific trait is kryptonite for many drivers. Sebastian Vettel struggled with it in his later years, and Sergio Perez looked lost in the RB19 because of it. But for Fernando Alonso, this is paradise. Alonso's driving style is unique. He uses an aggressive initial steering input to throw the car into the corner, relying on his superhuman reflexes to catch the rear slide. He doesn't need a stable car, he needs a car that reacts as fast as he thinks. Reports from the Aston Martin simulation team suggest that the initial AMR26 concept is extremely aggressive on nose authority, utilizing the new active aero rules to maximize front downforce. It is a car designed to be driven on a knife edge. For a driver like Lawrence Stroll, this might be a nightmare. But for Alonso, it is the suit of armor he has been waiting for since 2006. Let's talk about the technical loophole. Every time Formula 1 introduces a massive rule change, Adrian Newey finds a secret that everyone else misses. In 1998, it was the track width. In 2009, it was the double diffuser integration. In 2022, it was the floor edges. Now, in 2026, the game changes again, with active aerodynamics. The cars will have movable front and rear wings, X mode and Z mode. Most teams are treating this as a simple drag reduction tool. But insiders believe Newey is looking at it differently. He is likely designing the entire chassis to manipulate the airflow before it even hits the moving wings. By controlling the wake of the front tires with complex suspension geometry, a Newey specialty, the AMR26 could generate more efficient downforce in the corners than any other car. While Mercedes and Ferrari are focusing heavily on their engines, Aston Martin is betting on aerodynamic efficiency. And remember, this is the first car designed entirely in Aston Martin's new state-of-the-art wind tunnel at Silverstone. No more relying on Mercedes's old tunnel. This is 100% Newey, uncompromised and unleashed. Then there is the engine. The irony is poetic. A decade ago, Alonso humiliated Honda publicly. Today, they are partners in crime. But why is this partnership so critical for the AMR26? It's about packaging. In the current era, having a factory engine partner is the only way to win. Look at McLaren. They are fast, but they are customers. They have to design their chassis around the Mercedes engine. Aston Martin, however, dictates the terms to Honda. Newey is famous for demanding incredibly tight packaging. He wants the engine cover to be shrink-wrapped around the internals to maximize airflow to the diffuser. Honda, desperate to prove they can win without Red Bull, has reportedly built the 2026 power unit to be ultra-compact specifically to satisfy Newey's extreme aerodynamic demands. This synergy allows for a car body that is slimmer, sleeker, and aerodynamically superior to the customer teams. Alonso knows this. He knows that the Honda of 2026 is a world-beating monster, not the fragile unit of 2015. The GP2 engine is dead. The championship engine has taken its place. Of course, the elephant in the room is age. Fernando Alonso will be 45 years old when the lights go out in 2026. Critics argue that reflexes fade, that the hunger disappears, but the data says otherwise. In 2025, Alonso's reaction times were still among the top 3 on the grid, rivaling drivers half his age like Piastri and Antonelli. Furthermore, the 2026 cars will be physically lighter and smaller, making them slightly less physically demanding than the heavy monsters of the ground effect era. This plays right into Alonso's hands. He doesn't need to be an athlete capable of wrestling a truck, he needs to be a surgeon. The mental capacity required to manage the new manual override modes, active aero settings, and battery deployment simultaneously is immense. This is where experience beats youth. While the young guns are overwhelmed by the buttons on their steering wheels, Alonso will be playing 4D chess. He has driven V10s without power steering. He has driven hybrids with complex regeneration. He has seen it all. The AMR26 requires a pilot, not just a driver. And let's be honest, Lawrence Stroll is a decent driver, but this car, this masterpiece, is being tuned for the maestro. So here is the verdict. We have the best designer in history, looking for one last challenge. We have the most determined driver in history, looking for one last crown. And we have a team owner, Lawrence Stroll, willing to spend unlimited money to make it happen. The ingredients are there. The AMR26 is not just a car, it is a legacy project. If Newey delivers a car that is even 90% as good as his Red Bulls, Alonso will do the rest. He has dragged tractors to the podium. Imagine what he can do with a rocket ship. The Green Bull is real, and it is coming for Ferrari and McLaren. The question isn't if Alonso can win. The question is, can anyone stop him when he finally has the right car? I want to know your prediction. Will Alonso finally get championship number 3, or will the Newey hype train crash before it leaves the station? Let me know in the comments below. And if you believe in El Plan, smash that like button. This is Formula Perspective, and we are just getting started.